Happy New Year to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you. It's gone Christmas.
Well, here's the thing, because I feel like we should be completely honest. I said to you, let's get our trees up nice and early. So when we're filming in November, for December, we've got our trees up, which we did. Now our trees are up, and I'm really struggling to find a camera angle of my house that doesn't have lots and lots of festive lights in.
Yeah. Well, same year. I mean, all I have to do is this.
Oh.
They wouldn't be put away by now anyway, would they?
No.
The 3rd of January.
So a hypothetical, obviously I'll mean it when it gets to January, but a hypothetical New Year, Happy New Year to you, Carlos of Morgan.
Thanks, mate. Happy New Year to you. How was your New Year's Eve gig? All right. It didn't fucking happen.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I just said to you, I'm going to use a really radio term, but I just said to you off air, I said, I stopped looking at our calendar. We've got like a live, or I've got like a live link on Google. And whenever a gig gets added for me, I just have a look at it, usually the day before the gig. And I just get in my car and go. There's a postcode on there and I just arrive. I stopped looking at that when they all got cancelled.
Yeah, I always have that thing of, when people say, where are you tonight then? And I go,
don't know.
I don't know, mate.
No, I say it all the time. People at gigs go, oh, we've got tickets to see you next week in Basingstoke. And I go,
where am I?
Good. But I did have a girl message me once. I'm not going to say her name, but she messaged me and she said, I can't wait to see you this Thursday at this theatre. And I sort of thought it's likely that I'd forget which theatre I'm supposed to be at. I thought, it doesn't ring a bell. And it's a Thursday. It's odd. I'd know if it was a Thursday. So I checked the live link. Sure enough, it's not me. Did a little bit of Googling. Turns out it's a guy who looks a bit like me. Just a bit like me. No.
Oh. There he is. There he is.
I haven't done that for a very long time. And I sort of messaged her back and I went, it's not me. And she sent me another message going, will you meet us? Will you meet the audience after? Will you meet the fans after the show? And I said, well, I would if I was at that gig, but it's not me.
Surely you missed the trick. And you just should have gone, yeah, of course, mate. What you should do, meet me at the stage door. In fact, meet me at the stage door 10 minutes before the show, because that way I can give you all my time.
Here's where it went. So I said, look, it's not me. I think you've made a mistake. And I thought that was enough. I didn't want to go down the road of like calling her out on it and going, you're just going to see a band where the lead singer looks a bit like me. I didn't want to do that. So I was just like, look, it's not me. I'm not going to be there on Thursday. Case closed. And she came back, she said, will you sign the albums that I've bought of yours? Now at this point, I'm like, you're going to see a band I'm not in. No, you're not. So I did just flip it. And I just started going, yep, of course. What time does the show finish? And I was like, 9:30. It wouldn't have started by 9:30. Will you meet I'll meet you afterwards. Yeah. Should we go and have a meal? You know what I mean? I just thought I've given up on trying to be like diplomatic and not go, look, this is awkward for you. This is awkward for me. So yeah, she obviously went to a gig and took a Tom Vaughan album with her to get signed. And obviously the guy who was the lead singer of the other band, he'd have had to deal with that.
Oh, right. Okay. I just thought she thought you were different.
Oh, she thought it was a Robbie Williams tribute and she got the wrong one.
So I got the wrong one.
I get that all the time. All the time.
That's why I was like, just tell her, yeah, I'll be at the stage door.
Mate, I finished.
The good chance is the guy's going to be at the stage door anyway.
Yeah, of course. But I've done that a million times where I've finished a gig and somebody's go, oh, we saw you in Canada and you were fabulous. And you start at the beginning of your career by going, it wasn't me. And then that upsets them because they think they've confused you. So I've been about 15. And if I've had a really, really bad gig, I end the gig by saying I've been, and then insert the name of a tribute that is a local rival.
Tribute. Mate, you know what we should do before anything? Roll those bloody titles.
God, it has been like that. Have we not done it yet?
No, roll them. Get them on a go.
They're going. They're going now. So yeah, that's a little bit of a brief insight into
sliding into your DMs. That's what it's like to slide into your DMs.
Do you have your notifications on your phone for things like social media?
Yeah. Nothing, mate. I don't have them on for anything. I don't
even anymore.
You're lucky if someone texts me and I get it.
I used to have them on for emails, for WhatsApp, for Instagram. And do you know how much more productive I am when my phone doesn't go off? It's great. The only time it does go off is the 4 times a day when you ring me.
Thanks.
All right. I like it. It's a nice little it's a nice little break in the day.
It's a bit uncomfortable for me sometimes when I say, "You're right, mate," and you go,
which happened today. Which did happen today. Yeah.
Let me just don't speak for 5 seconds and let me just explain to the people at home what it sounds like to phone you. You're right, mate. I'm on the bike. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Thank God he's only on the bike.
That does happen a lot. Because you and I get up at about the same time.
No, mate. No. I am up at least 2 hours earlier than you. Definitely up 2 hours earlier than you. If I call you in the morning, I'm already 2 hours into something.
Here's the truth.
Your phone doesn't go off sleep until after 9 o'clock.
No, I don't. I have it on Do Not Disturb until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I can tell.
So even if I'm up and about, it doesn't mess with my morning. Then. That's the truth. It doesn't mess with my morning.
What?
Fine. But you did ring me today, and I was.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrendous.
You want to know how hard that was, right? Because I was riding.
I don't want to know how hard anything was. No. With you breathing like that, my friend.
I was riding my exercise bike this morning. And I was doing a live class, and I don't take my phone in there with me again because I don't want to get distracted. And I was doing I was racing other people online in this class, and I was doing really well. I was thinking stop it. I was 5th. I was doing great. And it was a 30-mile endurance race. Oh. So we're racing, and my watch went off with a notification from you.
It was a picture though, wasn't it? It was like a screen grab.
And I couldn't see it. So I have to talk to my watch in order to dictate a response to you. So I'm like, hey, Siri, tell Carl, I can't see the picture like that. And okay, Siri doesn't understand. So I do that. And then when
apologize properly. I love you. Bye.
Sorry, I love you. I'll make it up to you later. So when I couldn't see that and I dictated a message, you rang me. But because my phone's in the other room, it rang through on my watch, which I can't hear at the best of times. So I've got big headphones on that are blaring out music. You're ringing. I'm screaming into my watch. Out of the corner of my eye, I'm still trying to race this Frenchman up a hill. It's a very, very stressful morning. Get your yellow jersey? Didn't get my yellow jersey, no.
Bugger.
No. I've moved up into pro. I'm going to bore everybody now, but pro cycling classes.
Mate, I'm sure everyone is really excited about you on a Peloton bike.
Listen, it's pretty much the only exercise I can do when the weather is so bad outside. I used to do a bit of running, and I'm looking outside now. I wouldn't want to go outside in that.
Well, it is January.
Well, it isn't. On the subject of January, and off the subject of me on the phone to you, heavily breathing while I've got one eye on a Frenchman. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you do it? Is it something you do each year, or is it?
Nah, we always say it. This year, I'm not going to eat as much chocolate. This year, I'm going to put away all the Haribo. This year, come on. There's no one does it.
Well, I've got one for you.
They do it till February and then it's gone. This year, at the beginning of this year, I said, this year, I'm not going to play as many gigs. I'm stuck to it, mate. Nailed it.
I like to give myself really unrealistic ones. I'll go, okay, by the end of this year, I'll have landed a Hollywood film. And in the back of my head, I go, it's not likely. It's not likely that it's going to happen. But
Got
it's
to put
nice
it out there.
But I think that's more a goal than a New Year's resolution, like giving up smoking or doing that. Dry January seems really popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't drink that much anyway. Like, I like a glass of something is my thing, rather than.
I saw your Instagram story.
Mate,
go on.
You bought that beer thing, and then I was like, "How is it? I think I might be interested in one." You were like, "I'll let you know." A couple of pints later, you were like, "Don't buy one. It's addictive."
The problem I've got is
I drank more beer than I've ever drunk.
I said this on the podcast in December. But I said I was building a bar in my house. So it's the other side of this door here. And it's finished now. It's done. It's got sort of a big polished black wood sort of bar unit that I've put really, really cool lighting round. It's got a dartboard, had the light installed on the dartboard. It's got a beer pump in there. It's brilliant, right? But I built it at a time where it's not really fit for purpose, because like I said to you, I built it and I finished it and it's amazing. It's got these bar stools, these little sort of floor lighting put in there, some really old school 1950s bar signs with light bulbs in them and a black ornate mirror. It's just a really, really cool place to be. Obviously,
yeah, right, mate, we get it. None of us are invited to this bar.
No. But here's the thing. So I built it. And you said to me, "Oh, let me know," because you were interested in, because I've had a beer pump put in it.
Yeah.
And you were interested in that. And I said, I'll let you know how it goes. And I finished it. And then the first thing I did when I finished it was I poured myself a pint of lager.
You were exhausted.
That was it. Yeah.
You must have been exhausted from building this bar that has everything, including 1950 signs.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll go back to where I'm at with that story in a minute. But when I was building it, are you good? Are you good with flat pack? You strike me as a person who would be absolutely fucking atrocious with anything that comes in a box with screws. No?
That's not very nice. It's very true, but it's not very nice. I have feelings too, you know?
So I got this flat pack bar that came in and I carried it up the stairs because I'm on the second floor where I live. And I took it out of all the boxes and I'm on the phone to my mum. And she said, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "The bar's just been delivered." And she said, "Do you need a hand building it?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, I built all the wardrobes, built all the bedside tables. I was like,
"Yeah,
it's going to be like, it's easy." I built this bar and it's obviously different on one side to the other, because on the back side, you've got room to put all your glasses and your bottles and stuff. And then the front is completely flush, apart from some sort of design in the wood. And 2.5 hours into building it, and I'm on the last bit, as in it's starting to look like a bar now, and it's stood up. And I've got one piece of wood the wrong way, as in it's upside down. So it doesn't join the way it needs to. The top bit doesn't go on. And it was a case of dismantle the entire thing. It was the first piece that I put in was wrong, which made everything else I'd done wrong. And so, by the time I'd finished it, I needed that beer. But I had that pint of beer and I sat in the bar, got a little bit of music playing, got the moody lights. I had a quick game of darts on my own. And then I sort of went, this is great.
Also, we should reference that you were a professional darts player on.
I think we have talked about the fact that I was
you were a professional.
I think I used semi-professional darts player.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you said how was that beer pump? I'm interested in getting one. So I poured myself a beer, had a beer. I was like, this is great. And then I sort of went to bed. And the next day, the bar's a novelty. It's like a new thing in my house that hasn't been there before. So I come out of my bedroom to go to the toilet. I'm like, I'll have a little look in the bar. It's about 10 a.m. I'm like, this is really cool. And because it's lockdown and because there's nothing to do, by about midday, I was like, is it early enough for me to have
5
a beer?
o'clock somewhere. 5 o'clock somewhere.
So I haven't really used it. Is the truth. I used it the first week I had it. I sat in it and I had a couple of beers and stuff like that. And then I just decided not to, because it's a bit like having your own pub. You wouldn't. The whole point of going to the pub is being around friends or having people, I don't know, to enjoy it with you. At the moment, it's a room in my house that I don't use because I don't really want to sit in a bar on my own and just get drunk. That's how it begins.
If anyone finds my violin, give it to me. So I can play you a little sad song for old little Tommy Vaughan.
It's wonderful.
Jeez.
And I can't wait. I thought that you and I were going to be back in the same room for this month.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Mate, I thought this year I might see some people this year. At some point, I might see someone at this year.
but I mean, I'd like the next time we do a podcast month from my house, we'll definitely set the cameras up and do it in the bar. Set the cameras up and do it in the bar, because it's super cool. But the point of that very, very elongated, unnecessary flat pack building story is having a bar in your house is pretty cool. And loads of people have done it, mate, in lockdown to get the parts and stuff like that. All the
alcoholics been on it.
Yeah, all the places I was ringing, they were just like, we've got no stuff because everybody's doing it. But it kind of will come into its own, hopefully at Christmas, when I'm allowed to have some people round, and hopefully, next year. Although we are in January
this year,
Christmas is gone.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's so difficult to pretend it's a different time of the year. I think we've done really well up to that point. So you don't have New Year's resolutions at all?
No, but going back to your flat pack thing, I realized the first time I ever had a flat pack, I hate IKEA, by the way. You can add it to the list of things I hate. IKEA and Carl do not mix.
Okay. So you don't run into Tom Hardy in IKEA. Imagine that.
Mate. Be smashing a flat pack over his face and then running when he gets up because he's clearly much harder than I am.
Yeah, he's a big lad. Big lad. He's probably as tall as me. Oi, oi.
And and I set up this flat pack thing, and like you, just awful at it. I don't even know if I figured out how to open the box properly. And I like reading instructions. I'm an instruction guy. I like going step by step.
Are you? We'll carry on because we're coming back to that.
And then so basically the way my life works is 6 a.m. Carl's up. Claire's in work doing the breakfast show. So anything like that I want to get done before she comes home. So she comes in, I'm like, look what I did. I got to get done by 10 a.m. So it's 8:30. I'm like tearing my hair out at it. Quick call, Papa Morg, Dad, quick, you're gonna need to come up. There's an emergency. The emergency is the flat pack from IKEA. I'll make the tea. You fix the flat pack. You got to be gone by 10 because Claire must never know.
She must know. Yeah, she must never know.
You made this because I'm going to take all the credit for this. Yeah. So it's my flat pack story.
You're an instructions guy.
Yep.
I don't know. There's something about instructions that I don't see a booklet of instructions. I just see a piece of paper that says defeat.
No.
I can't use them. I can't
tell
use
you what
them.
is really annoying is when you use the instructions and you get all the way through and you're like, okay, page 3, page 4. Yep, that looks, because I will have a go at stuff. I take the mickey there and say Papa Morgan. Papa Morg does come up if there's a major problem and I can't do it. But I have a go. And then say I've built, I don't know, some wardrobe in or whatever.
Sure.
There's always a packet of screws.
Did you just call it a wardrobing?
Wardrobing.
Yeah.
You know, there's always screws left over. There's always screws. All those little wood pieces that go in.
Yeah.
Two things together.
I know the ones you mean.
Before you put the screw bits in the two sides, there's always, what do they call it?
Bung.
They don't call it bung. You know, the bung that goes in there.
Can we now, from now on, can we just refer to it as bung?
Bung.
I'm so sorry,
so you
mate.
put the bung in the, you put the bung in the hole. And then you tighten the screw. And then, yeah. And then you finished it and you're like, okay, last page, it's always on the last page. So you're back, yeah, and it's done. Why have I got 6 screws and 2 bungs left?
I don't know, but that does always happen.
Always the way.
I think maybe they send you extra. Hopefully they send you extra, or you. I'm
not convinced on that, mate.
Mate, by the end of building the bar, the actual bar piece, I had so many bits left over because once those flat packs are made to be built, but they're not made to be taken apart. So. Right. if you've got something wrong like I did and you've got to pull the whole thing apart, it doesn't go back together in the same way. So in the end, I was just
Is it because you tighten it too much? Yeah, I do admire.
I don't know.
People.
I don't know my own strength, mate.
That must be what it is. Old Peloton there. That's good. You should get that on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I should. Let's quiz. We're not quizzing today, folks. Things, you and I are quite competitive, and when it comes to quizzing, and when it comes to certainly the big quiz at the end of the year or the little thin quiz, tensions run high. So I'm quite happy to just have a gentle chat with you today. None of his
questions make sense because they always start off with, in 1964.
There's a brilliant
in the country of Australia.
There's a brilliant clip in the small thin quiz of the year where Shannon, who's pretty quiet for the whole show, she's just sort of sat there on screen, and she sort of at one point just goes, what age range is this quiz aimed at?
Yeah.
And then there's another bit where she says, because Adam asks a question, and he goes, and what did you get for that, Shannon? And she, like, it's deadpan. I'm not sure if she's joking or if she's serious, but she goes, I will not tolerate office questions. And he goes, okay, moving on like that.
Yeah. Poor Adam.
I will not tolerate them. So yeah, Westcott was a big feature.
I bet he's good at flat pack.
Guarantee, and he'll be in the comments of this on YouTube. Guarantee that man.
Imagine he's not, because he's not in this episode. Imagine he sacks it off.
He probably will. No, he'll be there. He'll be there.
I'm not watching the ones I'm not in.
He'll be there. I imagine he sits near his Zoom and his Skype every day.
Just in case you text.
Because 9 times out of 10, I don't tell him he's on the show.
Yeah.
Ring, Adam, you're on.
Maybe he just has a notification, and like we switch our notifications off, and he leaves his on, and it just goes, ring, 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 ring. Tom Vaughan would like to Skype.
It's a bit like the bat signal. I just shine it out the window.
Adam West on the old bat signal. I like that.
Shine it out the window. And there we go. Bish, bash, bosh. But no, going back to flat packing instructions, anything with instructions, I can't do it. I feel like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm also getting older. So I do need instructions.
Can't get much older.
Okay. Walked into that one, deny. But what I mean is, when I was like 15, I take it out of the box. I'd know exactly how it works. I am getting to an age now where I have to occasionally sort of just glance over the side and go, okay, I'm going in the right direction.
I like to YouTube. If I like gotta get something new, I just watch it on YouTube, see how it's done. I should say that it's time for.
Where did you get those? Where did you get those? Carl, again, everyone on Spotify and iTunes, I must apologise for when Carl goes silent with these incredibly visual things. Carl's got a pair of bright pink socks.
Yeah.
Describe him.
Well, the left foot says, shh, it's time for ... And the right foot says, the Awkward Turkey Podcast. Although they could both be right feet, and I wouldn't know right now because they're brand new out of the box, out of the mystery box that I just referenced. So they are very cool, aren't they?
Where did you get them from?
I got sent them by our lovely friends over at Vinyl Instinct. Did you not get a pair?
No, I did not get a pair. I don't think I'm going to use that. Depends how much I'm struggling for material this month, but I don't think I'm going to use that.
So this year, do you think, having taken last year into consideration, do you think that you will concentrate more on acting and acting jobs, or do you think because we won't go back to normal probably till after March is the truth.
Yeah.
So are you trying, okay, why don't you tell the people at home listening and watching about the audition that you did not so long ago? Because like anything, it's like songwriting, you never really know if you're going to get the job.
No,
you try
that's
your
true.
best.
That's
but
true.
what is a typical audition like for you? I haven't auditioned for anything for years and years and years.
You asked me many, many questions there. First one was, what do I think is going to happen? Move it as in as in what direction do I think I'm going to go in?
Yeah. What do you prefer to go in? Would you prefer it if it was more gigs, or would you prefer it if you had an acting job and it was like a bit of security?
The thing about it is, when I'm out, I've had a year off work.
Yeah.
I've done the odd private show, and you've done the odd socially distanced gig, but it's not been a tour. Yeah, it's not been a tour, has it? It's been
not really
a very, very quiet year. And I've got very, very used to being at home. Very, very used to.
Okay.
Well, not being at home. I've got very used to going to bed at a normal time and not being on the motorway for 10, 12 hours of that day.
Yeah.
So I think what I need to do is I need to go and do a few shows and see.
Yeah.
Because you talked about auditions there, and I'll tell you about that in a sec. But the auditions that are done from home now, as well, having a free diary means that I'm able to do it, because I've not been able to do that for many years. So if something comes up now and we're shooting for 6 months in Australia, I'm like, can do it. Yeah, of course I can. So I don't know. I've had 9 years off. Acting.
Wow.
with the exception of
Hollyoaks was 9 years ago, was it?
10
years ago.
10 years ago.
Still go on about it and on about it and on about
talk about it at all. If you go back to the TV and episode, we spent 40 minutes talking about you being a baker and absolutely no time discussing anything that I'd done on telly. So I don't bring it up at all.
Mate, am I joking? Calm down. God.
Yeah. The truth is, I love singing and I love acting. And I think that the absolute truth of it is, I don't know. I'm gonna get deep just for a second, because I think it's important.
Put my snorkel on.
What I mean is, after the last 12 months, or 10 months, whatever it's been, I think whatever I do next will be something that makes me happy. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much where it's at.
I think that's more than
I haven't. You know what I mean? I haven't earned any money for a year. I haven't done any gigs. Sorry?
Ditto.
So I think that the next thing I take, whether it be in acting, whether it be in music, I think that is going to be solely based on whether I think it's going to make me happy. And I've missed acting a lot. I've missed it a lot. And we'll talk about that audition, because that was the first time I sort of was in the throes of, oh wow, this could actually be a thing. And I haven't felt that excited about something for a very, very long time. So I don't know if that's a sign. I don't know. I've always said I'm an actor who sings. And for the last 10 years, I've been a singer who acts. So I don't know if that balance switches again. You said it when we did that episode. You said that you've been out of it long enough now that you might want to look at it again at some point if the opportunity came.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because like the audition thing. So when you were telling me about when you were doing the audition, and you were saying, if it pulls off, it's like a massive deal for me. It's kind of, it will change the path, change the career, all of that. And it made me think of it was refreshing to hear the hope, because most of the time you do 10 auditions, you're lucky if you get one part, right? It's like we write song after song after song, we pitch for this, pitch for that. You might get down to the last 3 and everything, but only kind of 1 or 2 of them do you nail, and then it's about using that as leverage to kind of go a bit further. But the hope of like the excitement and the hope was refreshing to hear, because it's so easy to kind of get caught in the trap of, well, it was an audition and I tried my best. And
the reason I had that this time round, and I don't tell anybody, like you, we pretty much,
of course.
just get on with it, because I've done it before where I've told everybody and then it's not happened, and I've had to go around and go.
And that's like the worst thing in the world that could happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that made it different this time is they got in touch with my agent and they were like, we really want to see Tom for this. And that just made me immediately excited about it.
Yeah,
immediately excited about it. And the interesting thing about it is, because I've said before, and a few people who follow me on Instagram will have seen the self-tapes, which is the way auditions are done. If you're auditioning for something in America, you do a Skype call like we're doing now, or you do a Zoom call like we're doing now.
Yeah.
Or you film yourself with all your lights and cameras up and you send it to America. And obviously with COVID, what's happened is every casting in the world has gone, we can self-tape. So normally it'd be a few trips to London a month to go and meet somebody in London, whereas now it's all done on self-tape. But they got in touch with my agent and they were like, we really want to see Tom. Is he available? And obviously the time difference is a killer. So I was going to bed, like I'd do my hair and put like some nice clothes on and then just sort of sleep on top of the bed. Because if the phone rang in the middle of the night, I had to kind of be ready to go. And I did the first, I can't talk about what it's for because even in January, it'll still be a maybe, but it's a big film. And it's the
Hollywood's on the phone, I think was the words you might have called.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, Carl, I got to take this call because it's Hollywood calling. Hi, Hollywood. Tom Vaughan here.
But what I did for my Zoom interview, so you send a clip of you just essentially holding up your hands, your profiles, you do a bit of talking and say, I'm Tom Vaughan, I'm represented by, you tell them your agent.
Yeah.
And then if they like you get the Skype part of it. And I did the Skype interview and I set all my cameras and lights up. And I thought, because in the film, I'd play a guy who has to be incredibly well built. And I thought, how do I get across that I've worked out a lot this year without sort of looking like an idiot? Now, bear in mind, I told you, like I'm getting up in the middle of the night to do these things. So I'm not thinking straight. In a moment of madness, I flipped my calendar to a picture, really dodgy picture, and just put that up in the background of the shot.
You were if you need a guy that's got a bad arm, or if you need a guy that doesn't ride a motorcycle but is sitting there looking pensively. If you need a guy that's riding a horse with his top off, Tom's your guy.
There's no pictures on a horse. There's no pictures on a horse. So I put the calendar up, and then the Zoom call connected. And obviously they're like, hi, Tom, how are you? And I'm like, okay. And the first thing I did was I looked at it and went, shouldn't have put that up, should I? And I was,
it's not March.
I was aware it was there the entire time, but it made him laugh. And then I did.
Crossed. Crossed.
Mate, it would just be incredible, absolutely incredible to be a part of something that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet. I want to play a game called When You've Had the Vaccine, What's the First Thing You're going to Do? And I know that you're going to say, go on holiday. So where are you going to go?
Give my mum and dad a hug. That's first thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been hard 9 months. I've brought the mood right down.
No, it's fine. I was just in my head. I was just thinking.
I'll give you a fun answer if you want.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna go on holiday. Gotta take my top off, walk down the road, book a flight, and off to America.
Good. No, that's good. That's pretty much it.
Probably
pretty much
and then
pretty much what I'm going to do. Somewhere in the middle of all this.
You started 3 weeks ago with a mustache. A week later, you didn't have it.
That is true. In fact, the week before, I didn't have it either.
You had a better mustache than Adam West.
I was really upset that I had to shave that off. But I did say to you, my agent FaceTimed me and went, look, we've got this thing for you. And I was like, cool. And he was like, can we get rid of this? I was like, yeah, sure.
What is that?
Sure. I think I said it on the podcast. His exact words were, what the is that on your face? And I went, yeah, I'll go and get rid of it for you now.
talking of mustaches, Adam Westcott's mustache in that picture in the December episode, it was fantastic.
It's up on the screen now. You and I have a brainstorming session, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, none of it is usable.
At the moment, it's every week because of the way we're filming it. But we do have a brainstorming session where the conversation lasts for about an hour, and the first 3.5 minutes of the conversation is you and me genuinely talking about ideas that we've got for the show.
Yeah.
And the following
56 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you. Is usually us talking about things that we'd like to do, but we probably can't.
Yeah,
and that particular phone call, it turned into us. Brilliant thing. Do you want to tell them what we did to Adam West?
Oh yeah, okay. So
the artwork. I'll put it. What I'll do is I'll put it up while you're talking about it,
okay.
and I'll pixelate the bit that can't be on screen.
Brilliant.
Because he thought, oh God, go on.
So Tom had this idea that we should on the YouTube page you get that, what's it called? Thumbnail.
It's a thumbnail, yeah, like a little image for each month, yeah.
And so I do the thumbnails and Tom does the editing, and he said, "Oh, when you're doing the thumbnail for the New Year's Eve episode now, why don't you change it to and put Adam West's actual phone number, and we'll send it to him and say, look, mate, this is going to be brilliant for the podcast."
And brilliant for you. Brilliant for you.
Yeah. And would you like to tell the people at home what his initial reaction was?
So I sent him I sent him the thumbnail, and I think it said something like, and it'll be on the screen, so I'll be, but if you want, what is it, for action?
You were very rude and naughty in your
if you want some action, call Adam West, and you changed cot for another word that begins with C.
Yeah, we'll pixelate that.
Yeah,
because it's naughty. Yeah.
Yeah. So Adam West C, and then his phone number. So if you want some action, call that number. And we sent it to him. And I went, brilliant idea.
For a good time, I think it said something like that.
For a good time, that's it. And I sent it to him, and he rang me. And bear in mind, Adam's got a great sense of humor, as he's been on the show. You know, he rang me, and the irony of it was he used his favorite catchphrase, only he wasn't joking. He rang me and went, "Are you having a laugh?"
But mate, you text him and because I was on the phone to you while you were texting him.
Oh, I'd sold it to him so good.
You said something like, "Mate, we've had this great idea. We've made this and we think it'll be great for you, great for us for the podcast. Just need you to approve it because I'm uploading it now. Hope everything's good." And sent it to him. Like no joke in it.
Again, I'll put the conversation thread up on the screen now, so you can see how it was sold to him.
Poor Adam.
I think I got one text.
Good job, you got a good sense of humor.
"Are you serious?" And then another one was immediate. The phone call, and he rang me and he was like, "Are you having a laugh?" And I was like, "It's a joke." And he went, "Good." And then he sort of calmed down a bit. But I imagine in his little head for 5 minutes, there was just sheer panic when he thought we were going to share his phone number in the podcast.
Look at the world.
But there was a point where I was uploading all the episodes to YouTube and putting the thumbnails on them, where I was thinking, don't make a mistake here, because I've got one extra thumbnail that is a joke that me, you and Adam have had that I absolutely...
Straight in the bin. That's what I went before I did everything, straight in the bin.
Absolutely cannot use. But we did digress a little bit from the fact that we decided not to go with putting his phone number on, but we did have a 30-minute conversation about how we could add an image of him, because he's been such a big part of the December episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
How we could add an image of him in the thumbnail, but not just an image of him.
Can I just come in here? The first time I ever saw Adam, I'd never seen Adam before. I've never even met him in person.
Yeah.
So because he's your mate, and
well, he's your friend now, and he's
my friend now.
Friend of everybody.
He's a friend to the world.
Friend of the podcast. Go on.
But I'd never met Adam in person. So the first time I saw him was on your self-isolation Saturday thing.
Takeaway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what week was it? Well, it doesn't even matter why he had this mustache on. It didn't make any sense. He had this Mexican mustache on, which looked brilliant, but I was like,
do you want me to show it again on the screen?
Yeah, pop it on.
We had it in an episode over Christmas, so I've got it. Pop it on. Here it is.
Make sure we don't. Glory. So if anyone wants to go on the joke shop and buy him some mustaches, Adam can wear one every week.
Brilliant. How about we do, because we haven't done a little competition for a while.
Okay.
How about we give away one of the t-shirts that we wore at Marco's, because we've got quite a few from the lovely.
I'd give away my socks, but I think I like them too much.
They're brilliant. Keep them, and I'll be on the phone to them the second we go off air asking where mine are. But
maybe we can get these in the shop if people want them. I'm sure Violin Stick will make them for people.
I think they would.
I love them. They are genuinely very cool. Anyway, sorry.
Let's see if we can get those socks in our store and see if people want to get themselves a pair of Orca socks. But what I think would be a great competition, and we'll give away a t-shirt or a couple of t-shirts. We'll work it out. Have to properly work it out, because otherwise we get. But we'll work it out.
Send us some fake mustaches for Adam to wear.
Yeah.
Because every time that he comes on this podcast, the only way he's getting on the podcast is if he wears a fake mustache for little Carl.
What a brilliant idea.
Carl only wants Adam on if he's wearing a fake mustache. Because that's how I picture him now.
It's not just Carl, it's me.
It's the world.
Yeah.
But I just picture him now wearing a little gentleman mustache.
Okay, so if you listen to the show, if you are a patron, if you're just somebody who catches it on Spotify, get in touch, send us some fake mustaches. They don't have to be expensive, just a quid.
They can make them.
Make them. Get your kids to make Adam Westcott a mustache. Or if you're a big
Adam,
kid,
if you're watching, unlucky son, you're wearing a mustache.
Send them mustaches, and every time Adam Westcott features on the show in 2021, once we've got the mustaches, obviously.
Yeah.
But every time he's going to have to wear. What a brilliant idea. And you said you didn't have New Year's resolutions. I'm going to ask you that question again, Carl. What's your New Year's resolution?
I haven't really got any, mate.
Idiot. Oh, God, that would have been such a lovely way to round that
I just want to say before we go, Adam, we think you're brilliant. We think your sense of humor is brilliant. But you are going to have to wear a mustache every week.
And also, the second we're allowed in the same room as each other, we've already lined it up so that...
Oh, yeah. Sharpie's coming out.
Me, you, and Adam. And what me and you will do is we'll draw on his face. Yeah, that sounds weird. We're not going to do that.
No.
We're not going
Maybe we'll all wear one that week. Hey, I'd look great with a little gentleman, little twirl, blah.
I think it's brilliant that you and me have established a podcast platform. We've worked against all the elements, all the odds to be able to, we've gone from being able to be together to working out how to do this so that we can still make a podcast for people. I said to you, we're really popular in New Zealand, number 49 in the charts in New Zealand.
Very small country, but yes.
It is small. We peaked at number 32 in the charts in this country in the first week. I haven't looked since. I have. It's not as good as 32. We've done all that. And what are we utilizing? We've got it to a certain level now. And what's the first thing we do with our power? We make a 36-year-old
man. Mustache on a 36-year-old man. Yeah. But it's done out of love.
I just love doing it.
Yeah. I just think he's brilliant. And when he makes his own. Maybe people don't need to send them. Maybe he can make them. If you're watching, make us a mustache, mate. I'll wear a fake mustache. I'm all good. But if you do make me one, I do want one that twirls quite big. Yeah, I
feel like this was the point that the patrons and everybody else that listens and watches the show, I think this was the point they all worked out, that you and I had officially run out of content. I liked the December episodes. It did feel like when they got to January that they were
struggling a little bit, but they got through it.
There was
mainly with mustaches.
15-minute bit about mustaches. I'm not going to let this go. Send your mustaches to me or to Carl. Slide into the DMs to find out. We will get them to Adam Westcott. We will wear them. We'll make him wear them it's debatable whether we will. But that's
if it's good enough, I'm definitely wearing it.
Just imagine
what a great idea.
Just imagine him doing his quiz and him going, let's quiz. And he's got this great big sort of
a big bushy beard.
Big bushy beard for Adam.
Nice little Hot Fuzz reference for you there. You can have a Charlie Chaplin moustache.
Okay.
You know, like I can't do it. I can't stick it on.
Again, everyone on Spotify and iTunes, I must apologise. When there are big gaps of silence, it is usually because Carl is doing something that is visual and more often than not for his own enjoyment. Right, that has got to be
Wrap it up, mother lover.
First week of January. Happy New Year to everybody that's watching at home.
Happy New Year, yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We made it. We made it through 2020.
Well, you and I have still got about 3 weeks left.
Everybody made it through 2020. So congratulations on that. If you do all else this year, you made it through 2020. The worst year of most of our lives.
Yeah. Always like to end on a high. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Carl, let's start 2021. Yeah.
All the best.
God bless. Wear white on a bike.
You're on a bike in the night. Wear white.
Wear high vis.
Have you got any catchphrases?
Wash your hands, wash your bum. But I did realise. No. I did realise, and I said it in the Christmas special. I did realise that it should probably be the other way around. It's more hygienic if you wash your bum first and then wash your hands afterwards.
Definitely, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see what these moustaches look like.
Bye.
I just want to stick this episode out now, so they're on the way. Mic drop.
This